Alrighty, so today I'm going to test out the Rabbit sway bar from Rabbit Works, and Australian made product. It's two-stage, unlike some of the sway bars that you can get which are only one. This one is a two-stage sway bar. I currently have it on the soft stage, and no, that's not because I'm ex-Air Force that it's soft. It's because I don't ride really aggressive, and so therefore I want to keep it on the softer stage, just so it's not too hard and too twitchy. So we'll give it a run, see how it goes through some of my roads that I ride on a regular basis. Pretty average day, isn't it? What are we? 9 degrees C, and yeah, not too many clouds about, if any. It's a magic day. So let's go test out this sway bar. Sometimes the sway bar is really good, not just on the twisties, but on these straight stretches of road, where you're doing these straight stretches of road and you go, oh, you know, I'm a little bit tippy and divey, and it's following all the ruts. It's certainly keeping it straighter on the road. That is a big plus. Have it sitting straight on the road. That's a massive plus, especially in this area, because the roads around the Darling Downs are you know, picturesque roads, but Australian roads are not known to be the best in the world, and so they're a little bit groovy from the trucks and farm equipment. So this is a really good test for it, and it's handling it really well. So whilst this bit of road's only 80 kilometres an hour, it is a pretty good test because it's got some off-camber corners, such as the one we're coming up to very soon. Stay there, matey. And it's also got some long sweeping corners, and that's what I'm after. I'm after to see what it's like on that sort of road. So yeah, off-camber, just a little bit of a lean in. That's nice. You don't have as much body roll as what it had previously, so really appreciative of that. So you can see that a lot of the corners here are off camber. Because they are off camber, it just makes the body roll of the Spyder just that little bit worse, and you just want to roll outwards a little bit, and it's more just about that ability to control the machine, and so that's really nice. We're taking those at a good pace for this area. This one will test us, a couple of little back and forths. I picked it up from the dealer on Friday, Sunday now, so I picked it up from the dealer on Friday, and it felt really twitchy all the way home. Now, I was towing a trailer which was empty, but the trailer itself was in good nick, and I've towed a trailer before, and it just felt a bit twitchy, and I thought, oh gee, why does it feel like that? So I checked the tyre pressure yesterday, and yeah, sure enough, the dealer had the rear tyre pressure, you know, spot on, around about the 26 to 28. It was 27, so in the middle, lovely. Another off-camber corner here. Don't you love those off-camber corners? So yeah, it was 27 on the back, but the fronts were 21. Now, on the F3 that I'm riding, there should be tyre pressure of somewhere between 16 and 18 psi. Now, I like to run mine at about 16. Just purely because that feels good to me, not because that's what you must have it at this. That's just what feels good to me. So I took the 5 psi out, and it doesn't feel anywhere near as twitchy this morning. So that's that's a bit of a tip as well. If you feel a bit twitchy in that front end, check your tyre pressures, and under your front, doesn't matter whether you're on RT or an F3, but under your front, that's where your tyre pressures are, and you'll see those tyre pressures, and pretty well much I stick to those, because I figure that some engineers done a lot of testing on one of these, figure out what's the best handling for them. So you know, I'm pretty happy with what they're putting in there for tyre pressure. So this is a little back road that I sometimes take to work, and it's not exactly the smoothest bit of road, so it is a really good test for this sway bar. Now I've only got the standard shocks on the front of it from a 2017 F3. It's the standard F3S, so it's the standard shocks for that, which are I think they're called a Fox Podium shock, but on the back I've got a Wilbur, just because I tow a little bit, so I put a Wilbur with a bit stronger spring on it, and yeah, it's getting along really nicely, really good. So this one's testing it out as well, because you get those little truck ruts, which normally it just dips and dives into, and there's still a little bit of dip and dive, you're going to get that, but it's not as bad as what it was. So yeah, it's definitely doing the trick, and that's on the soft setting. I'm about 100 kilos, I'm around about 6 foot tall, I'm carrying a little bit of weight, but there's no extra weight on it, I'm single, I'm one up, so there's no need to worry about what the weights are with regards to how does it handle weight. But I'd recommend that if you're going 2 up, that you probably go across to the firmer setting if you're always 2 up, or predominantly 2 up I should say. So once again, some more off-camber little corners here. There's an absolute shocker coming up the road. It's a 100k zone, skinny little country road. Whilst it's 100k, I wouldn't recommend 100k through here, because it's pretty so this is a new road, but you can feel the little ruts in the road. I don't think they've finished, I'm sure they haven't finished like it is, because it's not exactly smooth. Fagan, really nice product you've made there, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. I really like what you're doing with them. Keep up the good work. Great Aussie product. One of these off-camber corners, guys, I love them. Maybe they've just done roadworks on this. I think they would have fixed that, but no, leave it off camber. There's another little one just round over this little rise here. It's another little off-camber corner, which will be a little bit of a test for this to see how it goes. And my tyres that I'm running the standard Kenders at the moment, because that's what was on it when I bought the bike used. There it is, a nice little off-camber corners, back into another little one. So I'm using standard Kender tyres, and they're coming towards the end of their life. They've probably got about 3,000 k's left in the rear, probably similar in the front, so I'd say that the fronts might even be the original tyre, given that I've just clocked up 50,000 k's. They may be a second set, but some people have told me that the fronts will last up to 50,000 k's. So I've got a set of tyres at home ready to put on it. So it's just a case of, you know, that's what you know, what's treads under it. So for all those people that want to talk tyres, go ahead, but yeah, this is not about tyres, this is about how the sway bar goes, and I'm really happy with how this sway bar's fitted on and how it's actually handling as well. Alright, let's have a look at what this sway bar is. So looking from the side of the bike, get down in there, see that lovely little yellow sway bar down in there. So it goes in around the back there. So that's the thing we're talking about, that nice little yellow rabbit sway bar. My machine is a nice F3 2017, and if you're wondering where I'm taking this, it's out at the beautiful Hayden Lookout. Absolutely beautiful, or Haddon Lookout, depends which school you went to. Great spot. Right, so I've tested this now on some roads that I normally ride, and compared to what it was handling like before to what it's handling like now. It's a really good investment. I like what Fagan does with his product, the dual system. Now people can debate about the linkages. That's up to you to decide if you want to stick with what Fagan recommends, or whether you buy yourself a set of links from somewhere else. That's your decision to make. I'm not going to tell you what I did or what I didn't do, but I'm talking about the sway bar, and I'm really happy with how it's handled. So yeah, I'll put the details in the description of Rabbitworks and where to get these particular sway bars from. If you haven't got one, really worth the investment. Changes the handling of your machine so much. The off-camber corner, gotta love that. So would I recommend one of Fagan's sway bars? Yeah, I would. I'd recommend them. And if you're in the market for one, in other words, if you've got a Spyder, you're in the market for one, yeah, I'd recommend getting one. I really love the way they work. The way Fagan's business operates is a little bit different. It's not like you just go online and click and pay. It's a little bit old school, but hey, old school's sometimes good school, and it worked really well for me. So it was quite a friendly process to go through. Great product, good service, and really happy with the end result. Should allow me to have a bike which a trike which handles so much better than what it was just standard.